The Boehringer Ingelheim FENS Research Award is given to a young neuroscientist under 40 years of age at the time of application in recognition of outstanding and innovative scientific work from all areas of neuroscience.
Boehringer's had a long track record of working with FENS to support innovative and outstanding research across Europe. Not only are we hopefully improving the chance of European neuroscience to develop our understanding of these systems and circuits, but also giving us as a pharmaceutical company a real chance to begin to have substrates and real hypotheses to move forward into early drug discovery, develop new molecules and biologics that treat these and then move them forward into the clinic, so that one completes what effectively is hopefully an endless circle of understanding the clinical disorder, moving that back into the neurophysiological systems, developing new treatments and then moving back into the clinic.
You can check at the FENS website who are the recipients of previous awards, and we are very proud of the list of these people, because it has turned out that after receiving the FENS award, they have actually had a wonderful career and are now leading scientists in their field. It is my great pleasure to introduce the 2020 Boehringer Ingelheim FENS Award recipient, Dr. Johannes Gräff. Johannes Gräff got his PhD at the ETH Zurich at the lab of Isabel Mansui. He then moved for a postdoc to the MIT Pickover Institute and was working there under the supervision of Dr. Li Huetai. 2013, he was appointed to a tenure-track assistant professorship at the EPFL Lausanne, and this is where he's staying still. Johannes has been working on the role of epigenetic modifications in learning and memory. During his postdoc, he was investigating how extinction of fair memories can be promoted by pharmacologically altering epigenetic markers. In his own lab, he is continuing to study epigenetic mechanisms in Alzheimer's disease and in extinction of traumatic memories.
My name is Johannes Gräff. I'm a neuroscientist researcher at the Brain Mind Institute at EPFL in Lausanne, and I work on the molecular basis of memory formation, storage, and change. First of all, it feels like a great recognition, not only for my own work, but for the field in general. Because traditionally speaking, it's not a mainstream field of neurosciences, because it's happening in the nucleus and it's happening on the genes, and it's a relatively new field. And yet I think we can gain a lot of information by looking more closely at what happens at the epigenetic level. And then on the personal side, of course, it feels great to be in that list of previous awardees, some of them very famous, and so I'm very grateful for that prize. It's not only a recognition for myself, but obviously also for the people who have helped me on my path. And this is starting during my undergrad years, the great professors that I had, and during my graduate school, Isabel, my doctoral supervisor, Li Huetai, my postdoctoral supervisor, then also colleagues and friends, and above all, my family also. What got me to this field is actually a drawing that my dad made me when I was very little. And that was, at the time he was undergoing a psychotherapy, and he took a pen and he penciled a body or a face that was first smiling, and then that was sad. And then on the sad face he sketched some marks, some little symbols, and then he said that psychotherapy is aimed at undoing those marks or undoing those scars. Then of course I forgot about this image. But then about maybe 20 years or so later, when I first heard about epigenetic processes in a classroom, those marks came to mind again. Because the beauty of these epigenetic marks is that they are reversible. So they can be installed, they can be very permanent, but at the same time they can be undone. And that image then came back and kind of stuck with me, and I immediately knew that is something that I would like to study. And later on, also, I learned that indeed the brain can be full of these marks, and that's how I embarked on my PhD thesis, and that's what I've been doing ever since. It's a very exciting field, and I think there's going to be many more great discoveries to come from the field of epigenetics. And not only with this award, but also more and more people, more and more laboratories have started to become interested in epigenetics, which is great for us. And I think that it's an area that is still a little bit understudied, so it deserves more focus and more research in the future.